The Bookseller's Love Story. This is a story about a man named Tom and a woman named Sara, and the small, quiet town where they found their love. Tom lived in a small house with a blue door. Every morning, Tom woke up when the sun came in his window. He would open his eyes and look at the ceiling for a moment. He would listen to the birds outside his window. The birds sang a happy song. Tom would smile a small smile. He liked the morning. He liked the quiet. He would get out of bed. His feet would touch the cold wooden floor. He would walk to the kitchen. His kitchen was small and clean. He had a white refrigerator and a brown table. He had 2 chairs at the table. He only used 1 chair. Tom would make his breakfast. He always had the same breakfast. He had 1 piece of toast and a cup of tea. He would put bread in the toaster. He would wait for the toast to be ready. The toaster made a loud sound when the toast was done. He would put the hot toast on a plate. He would put butter on the toast. The butter would melt on the warm bread. He would boil water for his tea. He had a small red kettle. He would watch the kettle and wait for the water to be hot. When the water was hot, the kettle would make a whistle sound. He would pour the hot water into his favorite cup. His favorite cup was big and yellow. It had a picture of a sun on it. He would put a tea bag in the hot water. He would watch the water change color. It turned a nice brown color. He would take his toast and his tea to the brown table. He would sit on his chair. He would eat his breakfast slowly. He would look out the kitchen window. He could see his small garden. He had red flowers in his garden. He liked his red flowers. After breakfast, he would wash his plate and his cup. He would put them away. He was a very tidy man. Then he would get ready for work. He worked in a bookshop. It was a small bookshop in the center of the town. He loved his job. He loved books. He would put on his work clothes. He wore a soft green shirt and dark gray pants. He would brush his hair. He would look in the mirror. He saw his kind, quiet face. He had brown hair and blue eyes. He was not a young man and he was not an old man. He was just Tom. He would take his keys from a small hook by the door. He would put on his shoes. He would open his blue door and step outside. He would lock the door behind him. He would walk to work every day. The walk was short. He walked past the bakery. It smelled like fresh bread. He walked past the post office. He sometimes said hello to the postman. He walked past a small park with a big tree in the middle. He liked the big tree. He would arrive at his bookshop. The shop was called The Quiet Page. He thought it was a good name. He would unlock the door of the book show. He would go inside. The shop smelled like old paper and ink. It was a smell he loved. He would turn on the lights. He would put his bag behind the counter. He would start his day. He would arrange the books. He would make sure every book was in the right place. He liked order. People from the town would come in. They would buy books. They would talk to Tom. Tom was always polite. He was always helpful, but he was very quiet. He did not talk a lot. He just smiled his small, kind smile. His life was the same every day. He liked his life. It was simple. It was quiet. He was not lonely, but he was alone. He would go home in the evening. He would make his dinner. He would read a book. He would go to sleep. And the next day, it would be the same. It was a life like a quiet, calm river. One day, the bell on the door of the bookshop rang. It was a Tuesday. Tom was standing behind the counter. He was cleaning his glasses. He looked up. A woman was standing there. He had never seen her before. She had hair the color of honey. She had eyes the color of the summer sky. She wore a yellow dress like the color of his favorite cup. She looked around the shop. She looked at all the books on the shelves. She had a big, warm smile on her face. Tom felt something strange in his chest. His heart was a little bit faster. He put his glasses on. He tried to look busy. The woman walked through the shop. She touched the books gently. She moved with a soft grace like a dancer. She came to the counter. She was still smiling. Tom looked at her. "Hello," she said. Her voice was like music. It was soft and clear. "Hello," Tom said. His own voice sounded too loud in the quiet shop. "This is a lovely shop," she said. "So many books." Tom nodded. "Thank you," he said. He could not think of anything else to say. "I am new in town," the woman said. "My name is Sara." "I am Tom," he said. "Welcome to our town." Sara smiled again. Her smile made the whole shop feel bright. "I am looking for a book about gardens," she said. "I want to start a garden at my new house." Tom felt happy. He knew about books about gardens. It was something he could help with. "Yes," he said. "We have some good books about gardens. Follow me." He came out from behind the counter. He felt a little nervous walking in front of her. He could feel her walking behind him. He went to a section at the back of the shop. The section was called Home and Garden. He pointed to a shelf. "These are the books about gardens," he said. Sara looked at the books. She took one down. It had a picture of beautiful red flowers on the cover. "Oh, this is nice," she said. "Red flowers are my favorite." Tom remembered his own red flowers in his garden. "I have red flowers in my garden," he said. He was surprised he said that. He usually did not share things about his life. Sara looked at him. Her blue eyes were very kind. "Really, I would love to see them one day," she said. Tom's heart did a little jump. He just nodded. He did not know what to say. Sara bought the book. She gave Tom the money. Their fingers touched for a second. Her hand was warm. Tom felt a little shock. It was a nice feeling. "Thank you, Tom," she said. "I will be back." She walked out of the shop. The bell on the door rang again. The shop was quiet again. But it felt different. It felt less empty. Tom went back to the counter. He thought about Sara. He thought about her honey-colored hair. He thought about her blue eyes. He thought about her warm smile. The rest of the day, Tom could not stop thinking about her. He made a mistake with a customer's change. He put a book in the wrong place. This was not like him. When he walked home that evening, the smell of bread from the bakery seemed nicer. The big tree in the park seemed greener. He went home and made his dinner. He sat at his table. He looked at the empty chair opposite him. For the first time, he wished someone was sitting there. He wished Sara was sitting there. He ate his dinner and thought about her. He wondered what her new house was like. He wondered what her new garden would look like. The next day, Tom went to work. He felt a little excited. He hoped Sara would come back. He waited all morning. He looked up every time the bell on the door rang, but it was never Sara. He felt a little disappointed. In the afternoon, he was putting new books on a shelf. The bell rang. He did not look up. He was a little sad. Then he heard a voice. "Hello, Tom." It was her. It was Sara. He turned around so fast he almost dropped a book. She was standing there in a blue dress this time. She was holding the garden book. "Hello, Sara," he said. He smiled a real smile, not his small, quiet smile, a big, happy smile. "I came back," she said. "You said you would," he said. They stood there for a moment, just smiling at each other. The shop was quiet. It was a comfortable quiet. "I started reading the book," she said. "It is very good. It has many ideas." "That's good," Tom said. "I am glad you like it. I have a question," she said. "It talks about soil. I do not know if my soil is good." Tom thought for a moment. "I am not an expert," he said slowly. "But maybe I could look at it." The words came out before he could stop them. He felt his face get warm. "Oh," Sara said, her eyes opened wide. "Would you? That would be so kind." "My shop closes at 5 o'clock," Tom said. "I could come after that, if you want." "Yes, please," Sara said. "My house is the one with the yellow door on Maple Street." Tom knew Maple Street. It was a pretty street with many trees. "I know it," he said. "I will be there." Sara's smile was so big and bright, Tom felt like the sun was inside the bookshop. "Thank you, Tom," she said. "This is very nice of you." She left the shop, and Tom watched her go. He could not believe it. He was going to her house. He was going to see her garden. The rest of the afternoon went by very slowly. Tom looked at the clock many times. 5 o'clock seemed very far away. Finally, it was 5 o'clock. He closed the shop. He locked the door. He was very nervous. His hands were a little shaky. He walked to Maple Street. He saw the house with the yellow door. It was a small, cute house. It had white windows. He walked up to the door. He took a deep breath. He knocked on the door. The knock sounded very loud. The door opened. Sara was there. She was not wearing a dress. She was wearing jeans and a simple white shirt. Her hair was in a ponytail. She looked beautiful. "Hi, Tom," she said. "Come in." Tom stepped inside. Her house smelled like vanilla and fresh paint. It was cozy. There were boxes in the living room. She was still moving in. "Sorry about the mess," she said. "It is not a mess," Tom said. "It is a new home." They went through the house to the back garden. The garden was just a patch of grass. There were no flowers. There was just soil and green grass. "This is it," Sara said. "This is my future garden." Tom walked onto the grass. He bent down. He picked up a little bit of soil in his hand. He looked at it. It was dark and a little wet. "It looks like good soil," he said. "It is dark. That is a good sign." Sara looked very happy. "Really? Oh, that is wonderful news." They stood in the garden for a while. They did not talk about soil anymore. They talked about other things. Sara told him she moved here for a new job. She was a teacher at the town's small school. Tom told her he had lived in this town his whole life. He told her about his parents, who had owned the bookshop before him. The sun began to go down. The sky turned orange and pink. It was very beautiful. "I should go," Tom said. "It is getting late." "Would you like to stay for dinner?" Sara asked. "It is just pasta. It is simple." Tom's heart gave another big jump. "Yes," he said. "I would like that very much." They went inside. Sara cooked pasta in her small kitchen. Tom sat at her table and watched her. She moved with an easy confidence. She hummed a little song while she cooked. Tom felt very happy. He felt very comfortable. They ate pasta together. They talked and laughed. Tom laughed a lot. He did not know he could laugh so much. It was the best pasta he had ever eaten. After dinner, Tom said he had to go home. Sara walked him to the door. "Thank you for today, Tom," she said. "Thank you for looking at my soil, and thank you for dinner." "No, thank you," Tom said. "It was the best dinner I have had in a long time." They stood at the door. They were very close to each other. Tom wanted to say something more. He wanted to tell her how beautiful she was. He wanted to tell her how happy he felt, but he was too shy. So he just said, "Good night, Sara." "Good night, Tom," she said. He walked home under the stars. He felt like he was walking on air. His small, quiet life was not so small or quiet anymore. It was full of light and color. It was full of Sara. After that day, Tom and Sara saw each other a lot. Sara would come to the bookshop. Sometimes she would buy a book. Sometimes she would just come to say hello. They would talk for a little while. Tom learned many things about Sara. He learned she liked coffee with a little bit of sugar. He learned she liked to listen to old music. He learned her favorite color was yellow. Sara learned many things about Tom. She learned he liked the quiet. She learned he was very kind. She learned he knew a lot about every book in his shop. One Saturday, Tom was working in his garden. He was looking at his red flowers. He heard a voice. "Your flowers are beautiful." It was Sara. She was standing at his small garden gate. She was holding a basket. "Hello, Sara," Tom said. He was so happy to see her. "I brought something for you," she said. She opened the gate and came into his garden. She gave him the basket. Inside, there were 2 muffins. They were still warm. "I made them this morning," she said. "Thank you," Tom said. He took a muffin. It was a blueberry muffin. It was delicious. They sat on a small bench in Tom's garden. They ate the muffins. They looked at the red flowers. The sun was warm. It was a perfect morning. "I was thinking," Sara said. "The town is having a small fair next week. There will be music and food. Would you like to go with me?" Tom looked at her. Her blue eyes were hopeful. He had never been to the town fair with anyone before. He always went alone, walked around, and went home. "Yes, Sara," he said. "I would love to go to the fair with you." The day of the fair came. Tom was very nervous. He put on his best shirt. It was a light blue shirt. He thought it looked nice. He met Sara near the park. She was wearing a red dress. She looked as beautiful as the flowers in his garden. They walked to the fair together. The fair was full of people. There was loud music. There were many smells. Popcorn and sweet candy. Tom usually did not like crowds, but with Sara he did not mind. He felt brave. They walked around. They looked at everything. They played a game where you throw a ball at some bottles. Tom won a small toy bear for Sara. She laughed and hugged the bear. It made Tom's heart feel full. They bought some popcorn and shared it. They sat on the grass and listened to a band play music. The music was happy and fast. Some people were dancing. Sara looked at Tom. "Do you want to dance?" she asked. Tom had not danced in many, many years. "I am not a good dancer," he said. "It does not matter," Sara said. She stood up and held out her hand. "Just try." Tom took her hand. Her hand was warm and soft in his. He stood up. They went to the area where people were dancing. Sara showed him the steps. They were simple. They moved to the music. Tom was a little clumsy at first, but then he looked at Sara's smiling face, and he forgot to be nervous. He just moved with her. They danced and danced. He felt so happy. He felt so free. The sun started to go down. The fair was ending. They walked away from the music and the people. They walked to the small park with the big tree. They sat on a bench under the tree. The moon was coming out. It was big and white in the dark sky. They were quiet for a long time. It was a comfortable quiet. Tom knew he had to say something. He had to tell her how he felt. His heart was beating very fast. He was scared. But he knew he had to be brave. He took a deep breath. He turned to look at Sara. She was already looking at him. Her eyes were soft in the moonlight. "Sara," he said. His voice was a little shaky. "Yes, Tom," she said. I have been so happy since I met you," he said. "You make my world brighter. You make my quiet life feel like a beautiful song." He looked down at his hands. He was too shy to look at her. "Tom," she said softly. He looked up. She had a small, beautiful tear in her eye. But she was smiling. "I feel the same way," she said. "My life was new and a little scary here, but you made it feel like home." Tom felt a wave of relief and joy. He could not stop smiling. "Sara," he said again, and this time his voice was strong. "I think I am falling in love with you." Sara's smile grew even wider. "I think I am falling in love with you too, Tom." And then, under the big tree and the big white moon, Tom leaned in and he kissed her. It was a soft, gentle kiss. It was a kiss full of all the words he could not say. It was a kiss that promised a future full of shared breakfasts, garden talks, and dancing. When they pulled away, they just looked at each other, their faces full of love and happiness. Tom took her hand. It felt right. It felt like her hand was made to be in his. They did not need to say anything more. They just sat there, holding hands, watching the stars come out one by one in the big night sky. Tom was not just a quiet man in a bookshop anymore, and Sara was not just the new teacher in town. They were Tom and Sara. They were a love story, and in that quiet town, their small, simple story was just beginning.